Too fucked up, I'm tripping.
Get out my seat and do a little shuffle dance. What's going on, everybody? I'm Garrett. This is Morgan.
I'm Morgan. Hey, what's up?
We're Fomo. We're here at Excellent Sound.
Oh, thank you
very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. We're doing a little vocal tutorial for you guys on the vocals from our latest release, Trippin', which is out now on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, wherever you consume it, you can find it. And we are going to do a run-through, so go for it, Morgan.
Sweet. To start, we'll just show you like a little bit like what the track sounds like, the different elements, just so you get a grasp of it. We got our drums right here. Super grooves.
Chris.
Some sub down here. Then we got our synths right here. And then we got our vocals over here.
Took too much, I'm tripping. I'm tripping.
Fun fact, that's our in-house vocalist, Morgan Budges.
Yeah, that's your boy. So, yeah, this is what we're going to be going over today, so we're just going to hop right in. So the first step of our process is just to obviously record the vocals, and for that we use a Rode microphone, and then just in our, like, we don't have any special setup or anything. It's just
no vocal booth or nothing.
Just exactly like this in our room. And then, yeah, so we have this, like, simple little chain right here. Which what's going on here is this little EQ is cutting out the lows just to get rid of the rumble, because you'll notice that like you'll get this like super like buildup of like rumbly frequencies down like in like the 30 or so range when you're recording in a room. And then got this gate just to make sure we don't have any noise seeping through to the recording. And then this manipulator, which is super cool plugin. Pretty much it's a pitching plugin, so you can change the pitch right here and then the formant right here. And yeah, so this is what gives it that like super deep tone. And like this is super cool for like you can make your voice sound like a chipmunk or like super deep. And then they have like a bunch of cool presets and stuff. You can make yourself sound like Darth Vader and stuff like that.
Fire. Cool to slap on synths and stuff as well.
Yeah, it works on everything too. When we do our sound design sessions, we'll just throw this on literally everything at the end just to see what it does. And then yeah, just a glue compressor at the end with just some makeup gain, and this is like the stock settings just to like compress the vocal and make it all smashed together. And so yeah, what we'll do when we record them is just we'll kind of just go part by part and just loop like 2 bars of the song, and I'll just sit there and do like, it's super weird at first because
try to get the timing.
Yeah, so you'll just like yeah, just let the beat run and kind of just like try to feel it out.
Just
and
vibe,
then,
dude. Just
yeah,
vibe.
just catch your vibe in there, and then yeah, just take like a couple takes and look for the best one, and then we kind of just cut out the one that we think is the best and drag it down. And the reason why we have like a 2-chain system right here is because when you record the vocals through manipulator, the way it like processes them, it makes it sound like different, a little different every time, with like phasing issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, sometimes it sounds terrible, so we bounce it.
Yeah,
that we get a solid recording of the manipulator, it going through that first, and then we'll post process after that, after we get a clean take.
Yeah, so we want to print this first manipulator settings just so like it sounds clean.
Yeah, so at least the formants and pitch are locked in, and then we can process after that. Because
Yeah.
if you keep trying to process when it's changing every time, it's a disaster.
Yeah. So, and then we'll go and drag everything down to this main channel right here, and then this process takes.
And you'll see we have everything chopped up. So like some of these are from completely different takes. We'll just take like the best word or phrase from each take, and we'll piece it together, Frankenstein it a little bit, so that we end up with one perfect take.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this vocal chain right here looks super intimidating, but it's actually relatively simple. It's just our
trial and error, baby.
Yeah. So like, the reason you'll see like so many of like the same things happening over and over is just like because when we're doing vocals, we just want it to sound as good as possible. So if something's making our vocals sound good, we're just gonna keep on adding instances of it until
Yeah,
it sounds
regardless
bad.
of the theory behind it or whatever, you might see like 10 compressors on here. Like if it sounds good, it is good, so we'll just keep throwing it on.
Yeah.
And quick note about Vocal Synth and Nectar.
Yeah, these are these main
yeah,
two
that's what we
third-party
use
plugins right
a
here.
lot for our vocals. They're a little pricey, but what we do is we use the Splice rent to own. So it's $10 a month for each of them. And the cool thing is that you can actually cancel the like payment plan at any time and pick it back up at any time. So if you're like doing vocals like for a song for a week, you can just pay for that month, cancel it, and then maybe you won't need it for a couple months. So it's pretty manageable.
Yeah, super chill. All right, so without any of this stuff, here's what we got.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
That's just me pitched down.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
Yeah, okay, so let's turn all this stuff off, and then we'll go over everything one by one. So first and foremost, we got Vocal Synth, and pretty much this is just like a vocal processing plugin with like a bunch of different effects and stuff.
Yeah,
but
you can do some super cool stuff with this. It's got like a vocoder, like talkbox, all sorts of crazy effects. It's cool for like layering vocals and stuff, but we just used it for the one pitch function for this track.
Yeah, definitely recommend going through when you get plugins like this. Just go through all the presets, just so you could like see how it affects everything, and then from there, that's like kind of how we learn the whole thing. Because then we'll like take different modules from there and then apply them to our.
Just flip them on and off, so you'll see like when you turn it on each preset, they'll have certain things on, certain things off, and you can mess with all the different parameters and get a good feel for what everything does.
Yeah. Okay, so for this one, everything is off.
Yeah, we literally just
Besides,
the pitch.
so this is the pitch module right here, and pretty much what this is it's auto tune, and what the register is just like where the vocal sits naturally. So in this case, we already pitched it down, so it'd be in low, and this level is kind of just the actual level of the vocal, so we just want it to be going all the way through. And what we did is we just tuned the vocal to the key of the song, which is E flat minor or D sharp minor.
The people's key.
The people's key. And then we just the speed and strength buttons are like the super important ones here. It's just kind of like the speed, it changes how fast it corrects your
corrects the pitch.
Yeah.
So if it's super fast, it'll sound a little like warbly. It can sound like super pitchy.
If it's
and
super
if it's super
fast,
slow, it'll take like forever to get to the note. So you have to kind of find the sweet spot depending on how far off the key your vocal is.
Yeah.
In this case, Morgan's was very far off. I'm just kidding.
And then the strength is like how in key it is. So this is like almost all the way there. Okay, so with that,
Took too much, I'm tripping.
it's like barely noticeable, but it just kind of like helps everything sit.
Yeah, because of the way we pitched it too, there's not a ton of pitch variation. It's because he's not singing; he's just kind of talking into the mic, so it's not super crucial, but it helps keep everything in key.
Okay, so here we got our first instance of Nectar 3, and what Nectar 3 is it's kind of just like a channel strip for vocals. So you have like compressor, de-esser, delay, dimension, EQ, gate, harmony, reverb, saturation. And our process with this particular plugin is to just go through presets and listen for one that makes it sound good and go in, and usually it's like we just take off like the reverb and delay and keep all the compression and stuff that makes it sound good. So so with all of these, the pitch is like you can't turn the. I mean, it's off, but like we're not using it on any of these. So ignore this. The pitch thing.
Quick note about that too. So this has a pitch module as well, just like Vocal Synth. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it was specific to this vocal, but we found that the Vocal Synth pitch module works better for auto tuning, so we used that one instead of the one from Nectar.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, pretty much it's just these EQs are just like tasteful EQs. It's like not really much explaining to go with these. They're all just kind of, I guess, random based on the preset. But yeah, this is just adding like crispiness in the highs and getting rid of some low mids, and then the compressor is just obviously just leveling everything out and like sandwiching the vocal so it all sounds together. And now this is what it sounds like.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
So all these are like super slight, but together they make it sound really good. And then for the second one, it's kind of a lot of stuff. So what the de-esser does is it tames like the S frequencies in your vocal, which is why it's called an esser, because like when you say words that start with S, it
like
makes
higher
it,
frequency.
yeah, it's like
naturally.
super harsh, and that's like up in like the 3 or 4K range. So this just like tames those frequencies. And then another compressor just to smash everything together, and another one. And then EQ. This is pretty crazy, but yeah, this is just us saying this sounds good, so we're keeping this. And this is actually pretty important. The tape saturate or just the saturation module on this is like
Yeah, it's
really good.
It's great for vocals.
Yeah, it just makes it sound. It brings it out like in the mix super well. So this is just some tape saturation right here. And then this is what we're sounding like.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
Again, super
each
slight.
one's super subtle, but
Yeah.
together it all comes together.
And a lot of the times, what we'll actually do is make it like super loud and compressed on the back end first, and then go back and add the nectars, just because it's kind of hard to hear everything that it does without having the glue compressor at the end.
Took too much.
Okay, so last nectar right here.
Took too much.
Again, reverb's off. EQ, just add some taste on it. A little bit of de-essing, and then another compressor. Smash it all together. And then, let's see. Headed over to Serum effects. So for Serum, we got just some dimension, which is just adding like a super short delay, which is making width. So just making the whole thing wider.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
And the hyper's all the way off.
Yeah, hyper's off because it makes things sound like super.
For vocals, it's not,
Yeah.
not a good call, usually.
And then EQ, just scooping out some of the lows, boosting up these highs. And this is like a super good range to boost when you have vocals, just because it makes them sound like super clear and you can like really hear what the person is saying. And then another manipulator. So this manipulator is not doing anything to the entire vocal. We just use it to pitch it throughout the song, like in the build up and
Yeah,
stuff.
it's just for our automation.
Yeah. So you'll see down here that like we automated it up and down. And then a glue compressor to just make everything louder, and low cut, because when you compress stuff, it adds low end most of the time. And let's see. So this is a super important aspect. This is our Valhalla Reverb rack, and pretty much what this is just like a parallel chain for reverb. So what we did was we just created a chain right here, and then we have, which would be the wet chain, and we just added our reverb all the way wet. And this is essentially just a plate room reverb, so it's like super a plate reverb. So it's like super short decay, and then it's like right up in your face, just so it gives the vocal like a presence that's like up forward in the mix.
Yeah, and you can see we hit the preset golden plate on the bottom right.
Yeah.
So that's a good one for vocals. And then we just kind of tweak the parameters.
Yeah. So the process for this is to just solo this particular chain and then mess with the parameters from there, just so you could hear exactly what space you're giving your vocal, and then you could process it afterwards from there. So we'll just listen like this and then mix it in with this volume right here.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
And then all together.
Took too much, I'm tripping.
Just
that
gives it the tiniest tail
Yeah.
and just a perfect presence.
Yeah.
Took too much, I'm
So it
tripping.
sounds so dry without it, and then this just like brings it like a really
Took
nice
too
space.
much, I'm tripping.
Puts it in a nice space.
And then a bunch of stuff on this one.
Took too
We got an overdrive just to like saturate a little bit and bring it out more in the mix. And this is a super low, dry, wet with just kind of the process with this is like we'll just drag on the Ableton stock one and then just tweak for what's sounding good from there.
Just kind of fish around for a
Yeah.
good spot just to make it a little more present. Distortion helps with that.
Yeah. And then again, this distortion adds low end, so we're scooping out everything below 100 so it doesn't compete with the sub and the kick and everything. And then just
High shelf.
yeah, so this is like the clarity that we were talking about earlier, and then this is scooping out like some of those S frequencies so it's not as harsh.
Took too much,
Yeah, and all together we got
took too much, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. Drank too much, I'm tripping.
So if this can make him sound good, I promise you,
You can
any
sound
of you
good.
can sound good.
yeah, and that's about it for the vocals. Shout out In Your House. We use a bunch of Excellence In Your House pack.
Yeah,
we use
for-
a bunch. Yeah.
Tracks in this style in your house is an excellent pack. Well, no, I didn't even mean to say that. It's an excellent pack by Excellent. Wow, that was almost too cringe. All right, I apologize for that. Leave, like, comment, subscribe, leave some comments letting us know if there's anything, any other like old tracks, any sounds you are curious to have us go over. We'll be doing a lot more videos like this.
Yeah, we're doing a bunch of these.
Yeah, so definitely let us know what you liked about this, what you want to see in the future. Other than that, go check out Trippin', streaming everywhere, and we will see you next time.
Peace.
Too fucked up, I'm tripping.